You've all heard the benefits of eating fermented foods. Today I'm going to show you how simple it is to make kimchi. I'll include all the ingredients in the blog so it'll be easy to follow. This bok choy cabbage has been soaking in salty water for 24 hours. Ideally, the cabbage should be soaked in the salty water for a minimum of 3 hours. The next step is to drain the salty water from the cabbage. So the next step is to cut the cabbage up to the desired size. Keep the salty water because you need it later on in the recipe. So this is what the ingredients look like after they've been processed in the blender. If you don't have a processor, you can also use a bullet, like NutriBullet or one of those sort of machines. The other thing is you cut up the cabbage to the desired size that you like, because I like to put mine on rice paper rolls and in things like that. I always choose to do it that size. Also bear in mind, also keep the core of the cabbage. I'll show you why later. So if you've got one big bowl, you can just put the remaining ingredients into one bowl and do this. I'm just using two bowls, and what I'm going to do is just divide the paste between the two. Now you'll note I've got gloves on. Now it's imperative you have gloves on unless you want your hands to be burning for days. This is quite spicy, so just divide that between. Okay, now the fun part. So just reach in and massage that paste between the ingredients. So just massage it in, and that'll help to release the natural water in these vegetables. As you know, cabbages are very water content vegetable. So you can see it's already getting its moisture is starting to release from it. Same with this one. Just massage the paste, making sure everything is coated. And you might notice that there's some of the larger core or the harder bit. So you might find that when you divide this between a number of jars, the texture may feel different. It all depends what part of the cabbage has gone into each bottle. So as you can see, it's beautifully, it's getting mixed. It's starting to release its water content. So just massage that. And look, I think if I can get it into one bowl, I probably would put it into the one bowl and then just throw it. So let's just try that. We'll add it to this one. Even though it might be a little bit overflowing, but it's probably worth getting it all into one bowl to do this. So just scrape, now that we've got it condensed, just add that into here. Now you don't need any special jars, like just use the jars you've got at home. Just make sure they're clean. They don't have to be sterilised, they just need to be washed and cleaned and have secure lids. So no, you don't need to go out and buy anything special. You should be able to use everything that you've got in your own home. And just keep massaging it too. You can hear it starting to squeak. It's because it's starting to release that beautiful liquid from the vegetables. Okay. All right. Now this is the fun part: putting the kimchi into the bottles. So into clean jars, just put it inside another container. It just saves you cleaning up the mess as well, and you can just grab that out and push it in. So you need to push it down. You can see the water that's starting to already come around the vegetables, and so it's important with this that you get it full so that no air is left in the bottom. So you can see it's lovely and juicy. Okay, and to keep the vegetables in the fluid, like underneath, this is where these come in handy. So you pop that in, and you can also use a bit of carrot. Just pop that in, and that will keep your kimchi covered in the water. So you can just make sure that's sealed, and then go on to the next jar. So just stand your kimchi on a tray, and then if any fluids do ooze out, it'll go on the tray. But that should be ready to eat in about 3 days.